Some say success is down to ability. Others say it's sheer dumb luck. Some say it's inherited privilege. Here at The Tortoise, we share stories about people who achieve something special. And seen as not all able-bodied, lucky, or privileged people are successful, we're searching for the wisdom that some have, that we can gain. And seen as at The Tortoise we're slow movers, we thought we'd start with somebody who's very, very fast. Joey Dunlop is perhaps the greatest road racer to have ever lived, and there's nothing like a motorbike for that raw, breathtaking, exhilarating feeling of speed. I love my Honda 650. Just the thought of it on an open road brings a smile to my face. But I can only imagine what it must have been like to be Joey on a racetrack. And if you're wondering what we're doing here, this is the Trussell Trust. We'll be donating any profit that this video makes to them. You'll find out why later. But if you'd like to support us, please like this video, share it with as many people as you can, and subscribe to our channel. Joey Dunlop was born in Northern Ireland in 1952. He was neither rich nor academic, but his dad taught him everything there was to know about engines. He was a determined, daring, risk-taking child who forced his way into motorbike racing in 1969, won his first trophy in 1972, and went on to win more than 160 titles, including, for those of you who like to know the details, the Northwest 200 road race, 13 times in 10 years. May 2023. Oh, the people who like olives are going to be so happy. Mate, get more of those steak and kidney puddings. Those are so good. Honestly, they're just so disgusting. It's good.
I know what you mean.
The Ulster Grand Prix, 24 times. And the Isle of Man TT, 26 times, including a winning streak of 6 times between 1983 and 88. He also had 3 hat-tricks of wins, and his final win was in 1999 at the age of 48. In 1986, Joey was awarded an MBE for his services to his sport, and even now, 2 decades after his death, Joey Dunlop is still considered one of the greatest bikers ever, and a number of his records still stand. And sadly, we will probably also know that in the year 2000 Joey raced in Estonia. He won the 600cc race and the 750cc. And as he led in the 125 race, bad weather and water on the road caused him to lose control. And that day, Joey died. But if that is all we know of the life of Joey Dunlop, then we do him and ourselves a massive disservice. Because, as he knew himself, the things he did off the bike were much more important than the things he did on it. Joey was well known in the racing world for his humble nature. One of his most famous quotes is the words, "It was nothing, just the normal thing to do at the time." He was a quiet man, avoiding the limelight and glory wherever he could, seeking out genuine friendship and connection rather than empty fame. And so, silently, on the side of his career, Joey unobtrusively visited those who were struggling. One day, when Joey was talking with a fan, the man's daughter, a nurse, told him stories of impoverishment in the Balkan countries, and she particularly described the conditions of the infamous Romanian orphanages. Joey's response was to simply pack his large van with his bike, his mechanic tools and parts, and then, into all remaining space, he filled it to the brim with every sort of commodity that was required and that he had space for. Food, clothing, toys, baby wipes, nappies, wheelchairs, all packed into the back of a van and driven into countries like Romania, Albania and Bosnia. Again and again, Joey made the trip into these poor, cold, dangerous countries, where he would travel, often in secret, without a translator sleeping alone in the back of his van in sub-zero conditions, living off beans and cold soup, taking part in minor races along the way. And when he won, which he did a lot, he was seen to take his winnings and hand them out to families with wains, as he called little children. And when he arrived at the orphanages, he's described as having filled the children and staff with joy and confidence. A visit from Joey would become a highlight of the year for most places he visited. Which brings us back to the Trussell Trust, founded around the same time as Joey was doing his thing, and originally set up to help the same demographic of poor, homeless children in Bulgaria. The Trussell Trust founders since became aware of a similar crisis in their hometown of Salisbury. The Trussell Trust gives away millions of pounds worth of food in places like right here, every year to families in desperate need. And that's why every penny we ever make from this video will go straight to them. In Britain today, our hungry children are not found on the streets or in orphanages, but in homes with parents who are too poor to feed them. In 1996, 4 years before Joey's death, he was awarded the OBE for his humanitarian work. In a break from tradition for Joey, rather than shying away, Joey stood in the limelight, and he described it as the proudest moment of his life. After he died, within hours of his death in Estonia, the Estonian government replaced their website with a tribute to Joey. Tens of thousands of people came to his funeral, the crowds stretching from the church to the horizon. The TT created an award for the most successful overall rider every year. It was called the Joey Dunlop Cup.
Yes, we'll back up.
Statues of him were erected in his hometown and on the Isle of Man. The Joey Dunlop Foundation was started to assist disabled people who come to the Isle of Man. This year marks 2 decades since the death of Joey Dunlop. His son Gary said these words: "We are obviously very proud of what he achieved and appreciate that people remember him so fondly. But to us as family, the racing doesn't really mean anything to us. For us, first and foremost, he was a husband and a father." He is not going to be missed any more on the 20th anniversary of his death than he has been every other day. Now, of course, when a man of Joey's talent dies on a track that hadn't killed anyone else for decades, inevitably a witch hunt follows. Thankfully, Joey's character and opinions live on, this time through the people who knew him well. One friend said, "As to Blaine, I imagine that the man would be horrified at the suggestion that responsibility lay with anyone but himself."
Joey Dunlop was a wonderful leader for all of us. Sadly, a lot of his wisdom wasn't recognised until after his death. But with a humble approach, his wisdom became a timeless legend that will live in the limelight for as long as we remember him. Thanks for watching.
Are you excited to upload your first video?
Yeah, I am. I'm just nervous it won't get the recognition it deserves.
Maybe watch it again?